Okay.
Oh. Hey,
Hi, everybody.
Woohoo! We are live.
We're live. Yeah. And we are, we're talking about what they need. Welcome to our live stream. Ginger and I are going to be with you for the next 90 minutes. And we know that sounds like a long time. You guys can obviously go eat your dinner, put your kids to bed, come back and join us again. We're going to have a lot of guests. We're going to talk about a lot of things that ATN is doing, a lot of things that ATN wants to do. We're so happy that you're here.
We are so happy to be here. And maybe we need to do quick introduction of ourselves and ATN and exactly what we're doing here tonight.
Exactly. Well, thanks, Ginger. I'm Julie Beam. I'm the executive director of the Attachment and Trauma Network. And I think you probably have a vague idea of what ATN does or is, or you wouldn't be watching us on the live stream because you're joining us either on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube through our channels. You can comment and give us shout outs. We would love to see those and love to know that you're out there. Ginger?
Yeah, hi, I'm Ginger Healy. I'm the program director here at ATN. And I am so thrilled to have this fun live stream way to talk to everybody tonight, to get to know more friends of ATN. Hello from Alabama. We love it when you let us know who you are, where you're from. We welcome you all. We are so excited to be here and to share with you these programs that I help direct and how your generous donations will help these programs continue so that we truly can help children impacted by trauma get what they need, and educators who help those children and parents who help those children as we go back to school. There are a lot of needed things and we can help with that. So we are so excited to have you all here. I love these shout outs. Hello from North Carolina.
Yep, it's great. And Tracy, our board president, is shouting out for some of you, if you have been a donor, volunteer, participant in a lot of things that ATN does for a while, you're going to be receiving a phone call or text from us this evening. We have some board members who are working and other volunteers too who are working hard back over at Mission Control, and their goal tonight, our goal tonight, is to raise $5,000 to help us with the programs that Ginger and I are going to be telling you about. And we've been talking to folks about this on social media for a little over a week now. It's called the What They Need campaign. We know that now is back to school time and there are so many needs. You know, everybody needs a backpack, everybody needs school supplies, they need hand sanitizer, they need all of these things. But we at ATN know that what children really need is trauma-informed, resilience building, relationship-focused schools. And that's the goal. And we're doing a lot of things to help schools reach that goal. But, you know, there's just a lot more that we could be doing.
Yeah. And that's exactly where you, our friends, our viewers, our supporters come in, because we cannot do this work. We are a nonprofit agency and we need your help. We need your support. So this is our heartfelt plea to you tonight, that you have this opportunity to be absolutely instrumental. We have visitors all the way from France. Welcome, Miriam. And we just need everybody's help so that you can get these kids what they need and these educators. So we're just so excited to be here tonight to build this community. It feels like such a community. I hope that Shola, in Tampa, you have escaped Hurricane Idalia. We are so glad you're tuning in tonight. And we can see
Apparently you have electricity. Yes. Yes.
We love LCSWs. We love all the help that we can put into the schools. And we're going to talk about that tonight too. All the different programs and ways that we can get kids what they need. Your donation really will get every penny to what is needed and what will benefit children the most.
Okay, so to start things off, though, because this really is about trying to fund this, and 5,000 is our goal, we got some great news. Folks over at Mission Control have been working hard already, and I can report that we are halfway to our goal. So, Lorraine, give us the halfway graphic so that we can all cheer and be excited.
Well, that
around $2,700, Ginger, and they're just getting started. So it's exciting. You obviously can donate. You don't have to wait for them to call. You can donate with the ticker on the bottom. You can text. It's here. It'll come up on some of our graphics too. It's 44321, and then you just type "give to ATN," and that gives you an opportunity to do that. No amount is too small or too large. All of it will be put to good use.
I love that we're halfway there. That means, guys, we are going to meet this goal, but we have to have help to do that. So go ahead right now and start donating.
So let's talk about what they need, what the students need, what the teachers need, and let's use the videos that we've been using for this campaign and sort of talk through some of this, Ginger. So let's see what teachers need.
Yes, I need markers, scissors, notebook paper, and hand sanitizer. But what I really need is a sounding board, someone with trauma-informed ideas, and a place where I can safely brainstorm my classroom challenges. Great, that's exactly what I need and what other teachers need as we begin our trauma-informed school journey.
Thank you, Charlene. It's so great that that Charlene, one of our board members who is an educator in the school systems, made that video for us. That's awesome. So some of you may know that we have an incredibly large we have an incredibly large microphone in the middle of the screen.
We do have that. We have so many things.
Okay, I don't know where that's coming from, Lorraine. Wait a minute, here it is. Hide it. Okay, that was fun. So we all also don't have degrees in technology, but we're getting there. We have a large conference every February, and we know that that's not enough, right? So we know that teachers need more to help them stay on the trauma-informed journey, and that's where programs like Team R&R come into play. Ginger, you want to talk a little bit about Team R&R?
I love Team R&R, and I especially love what Charlene mentioned in her video. And what she said that was really impactful and needed was that she needed a safe place to brainstorm challenges and behaviors and needs and resources, because oftentimes what we hear at our conference is that there's such a community feel, a unity feel, and that teachers need that. But then when they go back to their own buildings, they often feel alone. And so Team R&R was created to keep that community going. on a virtual basis because we are located all over the world. And so it's an opportunity for educators to come together in a virtual community to support each other in a peer-to-peer way. We have book studies, we have community care through networking, through offering support and resources, education. We have amazing trauma-informed educators and those who have spoken at our conference and through our PD collaborative and through our board. There's so many, we are linked with so many amazing trauma-informed educators who continue to support us, and they do that through supporting the Team R&R community. So it's a fantastic way for educators to be supported year-round in a virtual way and to get what they need to create that safe environment virtually. It's a beautiful concept that has really provided support, needed ongoing support to educators.
It is. It's great. It's a good place for folks to just meet peer to peer and talk. We're doing this, and this is what's working, and this is what still is a little bit troublesome, and just kind of troubleshoot with each other.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic way to do that. Speaking of movies, one of the things that we did this spring and that we're looking to do again is Movies That Matter. We showed these 3 films, and we had full sellouts for all 3 films. We bought 300 seats virtually for each one of these films, sold them out, had a great discussion after each one of them. The Paper Tigers, we actually had Jim Sporleader, the principal that's featured in the movie, at the Q&A. It was a great time, and we loved it because we really know that it fits the mission of ATN to promote healing of children through their families and their schools and their communities. And this touched people from their families, their schools, and their communities with some really important information and really meaningful work. So we love to keep doing those, obviously, because they're free to come to. They do cost us money and have to be budgeted in, and but it's part of what we want to do and need to do.
I think the important point here also is that when we say we sold them out, that we offered them for free to anyone who wanted to participate until the spots were filled. But it was a free offering, which I just am so proud of. But of course, in order to provide that, we needed funds to be able to do that. So we would love to continue doing this. This was a very impactful
and maybe larger audiences. If we can sell out. Yeah, if we can sell out 300 seats, why not 600 or 1,000? And there are other movies out there that speak to the impact of early childhood trauma and the challenges, and then also the solutions, which is a huge part of what AT wants to be involved in as well. So, and then we had book discussions last year we did Bruce Perry's book. This year we did Ginger Healy's book.
So we have done some amazing book discussions. We've done the Burnout book, and we have done Atlas of the Heart as well. We love our book studies and the conversation and the community it brings and the education. And this is also offered free to anyone who wants to join. So it is a fantastic way to really build your trauma-informed knowledge and your support group and get a lot out of the community that we really want to support our educators.
Right. And so we know, timing wise, that now at the beginning of the school year is not a good time to do a book study, not a good time. I mean, no matter how free it is, they're not free to take it in. But so we're sensitive to that. So we can't do these things all year long, but we can do them when they matter, and we can do more of them if we have the capacity to do that and have more book discussions, which are rich ways to learn.
So much fun to be able just to discuss what we are learning, what works, what doesn't. Fantastic way to join with everybody.
So we have Alan asking us about these movies. If they're new movies, they're actually not super new movies. I mean, they might be new to you, but Paper Tigers and Resilience are, tell me how old you think they are.
2013.
Okay, thank you. I knew she would
So
know.
they just had their 10-year anniversary.
And Wrestling Ghost, I believe, is 2018-ish.
I think so. It's about 5 years early or later, so more recent.
But they're very impactful. They're full of the trauma-informed strategies, of the neuroscience. Resilience in particular is very scientifically oriented as to what resilience is and what is needed. Wrestling Ghost is a huge heartstring journey of this young woman, this young mother, and it was so wonderful to get to watch that film for me for a second time. And there are so many more. There are new films coming out all the time, and we really want to be a megaphone for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what next? Well, I definitely want to give you an opportunity, if you are thinking about donating, to do it in a super easy way, and that is through our Sustaining Givers program. In fact, I did this yesterday. I upped my amount on this because it's the kind of thing that is a monthly donation, a monthly pledge, if you will, that you just set and forget. So on our website, when you can go to giver.attachedtrauma.org, and you can put in an amount. You can put in $5, $10. You can put in $1 if that's what you can afford, and set it up, and it comes to us every month. The benefit to you is that it's set there, and you can forget it, and you can go, I am doing something to support ATN. The benefit for us is that we know exactly how much money is coming in from that program every month. The benefit to the families that we support is it helps keep our families support for free. Families join ATN for free. They can access our archives that have a plethora, hundreds of articles and webinars and all kinds of really great material, plus an online peer-to-peer support that is moderated so that they can learn from some wise folks that are both parents, and in some cases are also counselors or therapists, and we can keep that going. We can increase our programs for educators. We can do more things like this movie night and the book study and all of those things. And it's a cost-effective way of giving. It cuts our cost for that to happen every month like that, instead of the administrative costs that happen with other big sporadic. And it's nice because it's something that can be budgeted in. So if you join our Sustaining Givers, you become kind of a part of an elite group. You'll get a little kit, a little thank you kit. You'll get some special communication throughout the year, knowing things about ATN that maybe nobody else knows, or at least nobody else knows yet, about new programs or new things coming up. And it's a fun way to get involved with ATN.
I think that the Sustaining Giver program is a sure way to know that your money also goes further, because it does cut those administrative costs and fees and anything like that. So, and it just is so easy, and then you just don't have to worry about it ever again. It's such an efficient, solid way, easy way to give.
Well, and the other really cool thing is that you get this little symbol here. It's a bumper sticker or a window cling, and you can stick it on your car. And people say, what's that all about? And you can talk about our logo. I want to talk about our logo because it just popped into my head that if you don't know, and in fact, I will just take this off of here and figure out where you can see the logo best on my wall. Nope, you can't see it there. Let's go there. You see it right here? I hope everybody sees it. It's a heart, right? With a hand reaching in, like reaching in to give comfort, right? But it's more than that, because that's the trauma part of the Attachment and Trauma Network. It's a mom and a child, a baby, looking at each other. Now, so you can't unsee that now that I told you, right? It's 2 for 1. So if you've seen it for a while, I hope you think that that's cool. I was super excited when somebody explained it to me, and because I didn't see it at first, just like I don't see FedEx and Amazon and all those other hidden messages. But we have a hidden message. So
it's two beautiful messages: touching trauma at the heart, and the attunement and relationship that is required for regulation and soothing of the nervous system. It is an absolutely beautiful logo.
Great. I didn't mean to take us off on a little path there.
I thought it was a very good, important tangent.
I love it. The longer that we live with this logo, and it's more than 10 years old at this point, the more I realize how important it is to really say in one picture.
It beautifully represents why we're here tonight, to help those get what they need, and that's exactly what we do through the logo.
Ashley, people are still coming in. Still watching
so fun to see everybody joining us. We love having you all here.
Okay, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you very much. She's going to be making a pledge tonight.
Oh, Charlotte!
Wonderful. Woo-hoo!
Every little bit helps. Everything makes a difference.
So, yes, thank you all for listening, for thinking about this, for using our services, checking out our website, participating in whatever it is that you are participating in with ATN, because that's so important. The other group in schools that it's important to figure out what they need besides the teachers are the leaders of the school, right? We know trauma-informed education movements in schools happen. They should happen. They need to happen from the top down, from the administrative people down, because you can't be successfully a trauma-informed teacher if your system and your school isn't trauma-informed, because it's too hard, and it doesn't work, and you're swimming upstream.
I hear that a lot from teachers, that they are feeling like they're hitting their heads against the wall, and they see the vision and they want to be a part of the vision, but they don't have the support from up above. And so we do have to get higher up. And so that's exactly what we want to talk about as well.
We do. They do. And you know what? At the same time, because we have been to enough conferences now and met enough principals and superintendents and school board members and assistant principals and folks at the higher levels at central office to know that there are folks out there really doing this work on a system level. And so that's true too. So at ATN, we're always brainstorming, what can we do to support the teachers that are helping their leaders to, convincing them and helping them to understand that it is important that they address the early childhood trauma, and to the leaders who are looking for teachers and employees who are trauma informed and willing to go on that journey with them. So it's kind of that double edge.
That's an important point, because you're right. We see that just as much, and we want to meet both needs and both ends of it. Hi, Kristen, welcome.
So, so the next video that we have for you is an administrator talking about what he needs. And I got to tell you, we're excited because we really want to try to give it to him.
What I really need is a way to know that educators are coming to us with a good understanding of trauma-informed strategies. I'm in a district where at least 25% of our children's ACE scores are high enough where we know the adversities that they're going to face. And realistically, who else isn't really facing that challenge? So if there was some sort of certification that shows that they have a basic understanding of trauma-informed care, so they would be ready, fit to jump right into our trauma responsive school initiative, that'd be awesome. Really? Now that's something my district really needs.
So just like Mr. Bolton, thanks, Mr. Bolton. Yay. That just like just like Mr. Bolton says, he needs to know who already has a background in trauma-informed care. And it happened about 6 times last year. And I always tell Ginger that if I hear something 3 times from 3 different places, then it's time that we start to think about doing something about it. So it happened 6 times last year where people said, can you certify folks? Like, do you have a certification training program? And they might be schools, but there were also Sunday school teachers or foster parent groups or other community folks that were looking for that. And we were like, well, do we and can we? And we've done a lot of intro to what it means to be trauma informed and how to give this care and all of those things. So folks under development right now is, wait a minute, there we go. There it is, our trauma certification program. And level 1 will be coming in early 2024. Ginger and I are both intimately involved in the development of this, and we're excited about it. And it's going to be the level 1 is going to be an online training program. Our goal is to keep it inexpensive and not extremely long. I think it's 4 or 5-ish hours in
right.
And online testing and certification. The other levels will be more in depth, and we will be introducing throughout the fall our definitions around trauma informed and trauma sensitive and trauma responsive. And the trauma responsive level will be a program level. So it could be your school, it could be your organization, it could be your company, it could be, like whatever group of folks that are making a systems level change. So we're excited about where that's going. We don't actually know how quickly we're going to roll out the second 2 levels because, why we're here, because of capacity. I mean, Ginger and I can only alone do so much, and we have a fantastic supportive board. We have other folks that work with us on a volunteer level, but the staff at ATN is lean and mean and trying to do everything we possibly can. So this showed up as being important when we surveyed folks, and so we've put a lot of our efforts here, and we're excited about it. If you're excited about it too, be watching for it throughout the fall. We'll be talking about it in our blogs. We'll be doing a podcast on it. You'll hear about it and think about becoming certified. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is really a great opportunity to support this certification program. Okay, so this LinkedIn user, I didn't say it, but they're looking for housing advocates. It's tough. Listen, we know how tough it is. We are parents ourselves, and we are out there supporting parents. This is another way we can support families and educators, individuals in the school, and those who surround and buffer these children. We know you need help. This is a great way for us to support that help and get this program launched and continue to expand the program to larger entities so that these kids have more support and help. So this is a great way to
and since we know you're out there, LinkedIn user, we don't know exactly how to help you since your name and stuff didn't come up, but you could probably reach out to us in other ways. But if somebody knows of a housing advocate in Utah, that would be a good connection to make too, because we don't want your kids missing.
No, absolutely not. So please, you can email us and we can assist with looking for resources as well. Especially, I'm here in Utah, and we have our resource directory. Kirsten, she's here in Utah, and she's excellent at helping us find resources. So we can look at that.
Yeah. So drop us an email I would drop Ginger an email at ginger@attachedtrauma.org, or send us a message somehow so that we know exactly who you are and can get a hold of you. Yeah, Tracy, who's on our board and on the certification team, knows that this program that we're talking about is going to be groundbreaking. We're super excited about it. It's going to have a test out option. So if you're somebody who's been in the trauma informed world for a very long time, maybe you've been to our conference, maybe you have read Bessel van der Kolk and I don't know, Peter Levine and Bruce Perry, and you've taken their certificate programs and you've immersed yourself in trauma, level 1 certification would be really simple for you. And why take that 4 hours? So we give you an option to do that. Obviously, there's a lot of meat in the level 1 information for the folks that aren't that immersed in it. But it's but either way, we want it to become one of the tools that you can use to distinguish yourself, and that employers can use as well.
Yeah. You know, I really liked what our superintendent, Mr. Bolton, said. He talked about that we know at least 25% of the students in the classroom have been affected by those adverse childhood experiences. And I would argue that that number is much higher. Mm-hmm. So we are going to talk about that in level 1, the ACE study, and what we can learn from it, what the risks are of those exposures, early exposures to adversity. And that is just one of the foundational things that you'll learn if you're new to this. But I love what Julie's also saying, if you're not new to this, that you can test out of that foundational. Either way, you're getting that certificate so that you can show your knowledge base and how that so much will help the
Exactly. I just want to give a shout out to Melissa. It's morning time for you in Australia? So, and then I wanted to point out the fact that we've already got someone offering help that maybe not me or Health and Human Services in Utah can be a help to our person looking for help. So
thank you, Roxana. This is exactly, guys, this is exactly what we're talking about. This network of support for those in need. We are able to bring folks together to help people meet needs. So it's an amazing service that we can offer, and an amazing platform for others to seek help and others to give those resources. So thank you, Roxana. That's wonderful. Oh, and Melissa
says it's 9:33. Okay. I don't even know. I mean, we're going to have a whole conversation with Melissa because I want to know where in Australia she is, because I spent some time in 2019 in Brisbane, and then went up to the Coral Reef area and then down to Melbourne, and would love to go back. Miss the whole western side, and would love that. Australia, for those of you on the other side of the world like me, it's a great place. Would love to, can't recommend it enough. And so glad that a lot of the things that we do are virtual.
Yes.
So that we can reach over there.
Yeah. There's a lot of great work. Oh, Melissa's near Sydney.
Awesome.
Yeah. There is a lot of great work happening in Australia, and we love to collaborate with anyone wherever they're at to learn and resource and network. So we love having you all here. This is so wonderful.
Right. It's also one of the major reasons that, even though, when we first started our conference back in 2018, it was an in-person conference, but then of course COVID came along and changed everything for everyone. So it was a virtual conference, and now it's both. We have a in-person side and a virtual side, and they don't run at the same time. They're asynchronous, but we do that specifically because we know there are people who cannot get on a plane and come to where we are every year in the United States, and it's helped us stay connected to folks in so many places.
Yeah, and just like our other programs like Team R&R and anything that we do virtually, it allows for anyone from anywhere to join and to be a part of that. So it is an important ability for us to have, to build that community and to offer more support and resources.
Awesome. Melissa dropped us her email, so we'll have to
Oh,
skip
yay. That's
Um,
fantastic.
Okay, so what's next on what we're going to talk about? What do you think, Lorraine? Do you have any updates in terms of numbers? I know we were going to do that a little bit later, but I can't wait. It's like Christmas. I want to know what they're over there in Mission Control doing.
What's so exciting is that this is all happening live and things are moving and shaking as we speak. We're having donors come in and we're inviting you to take that opportunity to donate right now at this very minute. You can text Give to ATN at 44321, just as quick and easy as possible.
I got to ask you, Lorraine, there's I just peeked over at the sheet. Is that number correct?
She put something in the private chat. Did you see that gave us an update?
Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So it looks like we've raised a few more $100 there. I know they're busy on the phone over there. Way to go, you guys. Way to go, Mission Control. I know that I know you guys are too busy to watch us at this point.
I know. Thank you to our donors and pledgers so far. We are so grateful. We need you. Every dollar counts. We just can't say that enough.
So we're a little over $3,000 and we're feeling kind of sassy at this point.
Yeah.
And sassy enough that I do want us to meet another person who we love at ATN. He is new to us as a board member, but is not new to trauma. He is not new to education. He's not new to educational leadership. His name is CJ Huff, and he's one of our board members. Hey, CJ.
Hey.
Welcome.
By saying I'm not new, I guess you're saying I'm old.
I thought it was the opposite.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's new blood. Yeah. Come on.
I was not saying you were old.
Oh,
seasoned, a little seasoned.
Yeah, see, I'll take seasoned.
Overflowing with wisdom and
there we go.
Experience.
All right. Well, you can just stop. Even I'm starting not to believe you, let alone anybody.
So, CJ, thanks for joining us tonight.
You bet.
I think that it would be good for you to just tell the folks that are watching us a little bit about who you are and what your background is. Sure. And then I just want to talk to you a little bit about what you think folks in leadership need in terms of trauma-informed support.
Well, sure. I'll just start by saying I was born very, very young. We'll start there. So my background, I'm from a little town called McCune, Kansas. Grew up there on a farm in southeast Kansas, and had two younger brothers and a mom and dad, and we all grew up in a farm family, and got married in 1997 at a ripe young age of 27 years. And moved over to Missouri, got a teaching job as a teacher from, actually started teaching in Pleasanton, Kansas in 1996, but first teaching job in Missouri was in 97. And worked my way up through the ranks, became an elementary principal, elementary teacher. I was an elementary teacher first, and an elementary principal, and then spent the last 11 years of my career in education as a superintendent of schools. And I see in the chat box, private chat, who is Barb? Barb is with the school responder. I reached out to her and said, "Hey, Barb, you need to jump on this live stream so you can follow what's going on." So, but my last 7 years of my career, I was in Joplin, Missouri, and kind of getting back to Julie's point about my experiences. There's Barb. I was superintendent of schools when the Joplin tornado hit back in 2011, and had a chance to lead a major disaster response and recovery effort. Not unlike what we're seeing now in Florida and Hawaii and many other areas around the country that are experiencing major natural disasters, and getting a sense of I really learned firsthand what the impact of that kind of trauma on children and youth, faculty and staff, the community as a whole. And that really kind of started my journey down a path that I never expected to be on, which was becoming, I'm not an expert by any means, but I've certainly lived through some pretty traumatic times personally and professionally, as well as watched others, children, youth, and adults go through that as well. So yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and certainly to be a part of ATN.
Well, we're so happy to have you, and we're happy to have Barb with us. She is the person that sort of connected us, if you will, right? Right, Barb? It looks nice where you are. We're jealous.
Barb's on her back porch right now, I can tell. Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
I wish you were all here too.
But anyway, yeah, so I got connected with Barb and about 3 years ago, and some of the great work that they were doing around supporting children's mental behavioral health needs, and then you know, my whole life since 2011, for the last 12, 13 years, you know, my entire career really, but you really become cognizantly aware of the impacts of trauma after having lived it personally and professionally, and then watching so many others go through that long-term response and recovery effort. So, you use the term wisdom. I would say experience and wisdom go hand in hand, and I have both, and certainly appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys.
Yes, yeah, we're so glad to have you. What thinking as a school administrator, as a superintendent in particular, what is it that somebody like ATN could offer that would help your school do what they need to do in a trauma-informed space? I mean, make that journey.
Yeah, you know, I think a couple of things. One, first of all, most school leaders, I think, you know, they didn't have a degree in psychology. You know, they don't have they don't have a school counseling background. But I think we all, you know, certainly have a shared passion for children and youth and the needs of kids, and we see it every day. And so what I always told, and what I tell, you know, school leaders, especially new ones that are just getting into the profession, you know, I tell them that you don't have to know anything. You don't have to know everything, but you need to know what questions to be asking. You need to have some awareness and being able, you know, just got to be able to know what questions you need to be asking, and making sure that the people that are on the front lines that do have that expertise have the tools and resources that they need to be able to deal with the challenges that they're faced with. And you know, mental and behavioral health, I rank that up right there with food insecurity and so many other issues that our kids have in this country right now, many of which are interconnected. Is that if we're not meeting kids' basic needs, kids are coming to school hungry, just like if they're coming to school not mentally, don't have the mental capacity at that time to deal with learning. You know, it becomes a real challenge for them to be able to be successful in school, which exacerbates all the other issues that are going on. It just kind of snowballs in at that point. And so I think most as educational leaders understand that. I think our challenge is, and I think the noble purpose of ATN is to bring more awareness. And the more aware we are of these issues, the more capable we are of asking the right questions and making sure the right resources get in the hands of the right people that can actually provide the treatments and support that a lot of these kids need.
Yes.
That is so good. Thank you, CJ. So important.
It is. It is very important. Yeah. And that's, you heard it right there from a former school administrator and a guy who knows. He knows. Yeah. So, CJ, tell us a little bit more about Barb and School Responder and what you want us to know now.
Yeah. So Barb is, the founder of an organization called Wellness Backpack, and as a part of that work, they developed some software that has really, I think, has the potential of being a game changer for children and youth by giving schools an opportunity to create customized categories of need, so that kids can submit tips about others or submit concerns about themselves, and get immediate support from caring adults in the school community, so that they can make sure that kids have the support that they need, and they're getting the right resources as quickly as humanly possible to get them the help they need 24/7, 365. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about the work that they're doing in relationship to the work that ATN's doing is walking along beside these kids and having a tool in their back pocket that they can get that help that they need right away, that's customized to their local resources and the people in their local community that can get them the help they need when they need it.
Great. We're glad to have you with us, Barb, and
Thank you.
we're so glad about the work that you do at School Responder. We'll be seeing you in person at the conference, right?
Yes, you will. Absolutely.
Awesome. Those of you who, we haven't said that on this broadcast yet, because I know we are going to talk about the conference later, but we will be in Dallas in February. So Dallas, Texas is where we're going to be. And we'll be seeing Barb, and you'll be seeing all of us. If you come to Dallas, you'll get to see all of us and a cast of thousands more.
Right.
Yeah. So anything else you all want to say to the folks tonight? We obviously would love for folks who have a heart for what's happening in schools, for a heart of what's happening with the needs for mental health needs in schools, to support our work and to look at Barb's work through School Responder, because it's an incredible resource. If you're working in schools, you need to know about that.
Well, and I'd say, just kind of as a wrap up, I'm relatively new to the organization, and the first time I came, met you guys was really at the conference this last year, and it was. I remember I was sitting next to Barb at the time, and like these are our people. They get it, they understand it, and so as we think about tribes, this is a great tribe to belong to. They exist they have a noble purpose. They exist for a reason, and this is just absolutely just an amazing organization, and it's humbling, and it's quite an honor to actually even be a part of it and be a part of these discussions, because it really can. It's saving lives every day, and that's what we're about.
Awesome.
CJ, when I met you, you told me what your favorite car, your favorite vehicle was. And I want you to share that now, because I think it really resonates with us getting all on board for this beautiful purpose. If you wouldn't mind sharing that again.
My favorite car is a yellow school bus. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It's a lot of that's where we learned all our life lessons, right? Is on the school bus. So everything from how to deal with bullies to how to sit in our seats and make sure that we don't make Shirley the bus driver mad. So you learn how to follow rules, and there's a sense of community on a school bus too. So
that's right. We're getting all on board the school bus
together. All of us on the same bus.
And I will tell you, one of the things I learned when I was doing disaster recovery work in Puerto Rico, they have the coolest school buses in the world in Puerto Rico. They have chrome wheels, they have speakers, they have lights, they have, they have the most cool school buses in Puerto Rico. So I want a big, cool yellow school bus is what I want.
Yeah, that would make me really excited to go to school,
Well, I have to give a shout out to Rosalie in Florida and to Neil in Wisconsin. They have both pledged, and the folks back over at Mission Control apparently are pushing that message over here to us. And thank you both if you happen to be watching. Whoop, whoop. I have a feeling Neil is watching. We're watching you. You're watching us, Neil. So. Thank you, CJ.
Yeah.
I love the school bus. I've already given my not yet 2-year-old granddaughter a school bus, a little Fisher Price one that she thinks is the bomb. So maybe we're getting her trained early. And thank you, Barb, for being on here.
We love being connected with folks who are of the same heart and same mind and same mission. And that's what you all are doing. And I love that we're doing it all together. So it's a wonderful collaboration. And that's why the donations are so important. It continues to build these impactful collaborations. When you said that these students can get resources 24/7, 365, well, that's just the mic drop right there. So if we want to continue this, we need these donations. And so thank you for bringing that to the forefront tonight.
So thank you. And I just want to say, I want to reiterate to what CJ said. Having been connected to all of you, that's where my heart is too. I spent too many years in the school setting and saw too many things. And it's great to be with an organization that feels the same way we do, is to get the help and to give the kids a voice for when they need the help.
Yeah. That's right. And that's where the money goes, right? It goes directly to the students and those who are in need. So it's just a very impactful way to donate and to get, the biggest bang for your buck and donation.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Barb. Thanks so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in February. And CJ, I know I'll be seeing you online before then.
Yes, of course.
Thank you both.
All right, take
Bye.
care.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye-bye.
It was fun to have them.
Oh, yeah, that's just powerful. Those connections and the work. It just inspires me to continue to keep going. And that's why we're here tonight, is just so that we can continue to keep going.
Exactly. Well, and we know, because Neil and Rosalie and so many others have been donating this evening. I know you've got a new count for us, Lorraine, somewhere in there. Don't you? Tell us that you do. Okay. All right. Drum roll, please. I know she's got a graphic coming up when I tell you.
Yeah. We have a sneak peek over here.
Well, she's looking at me with this look on her face like we're over $4,000. We're almost there, you guys. And we got a whole nother 30 minutes to go with our live. It's filling up, and get your texts out, and you can text and donate, and it's just
that is so fun, so exciting, so needed.
Exactly. Okay, so school leaders and classroom teachers are not the only people in schools, and sometimes the most important folks that get the trauma-informed movement rolling in the school systems are those folks that are in the roles of counselors and social workers, and we love them dearly.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do this work without the counselors and social workers in our schools. So maybe we should listen in on our counselor Kirsten and see what she has to say.
What's needed is a way to promote wellness and resilience in the 35 adults in this building. We know that students with trauma histories, they struggle to learn when they're not staying regulated, or if they're not able to stay regulated. And this is especially true of middle schoolers whose brains are growing in so many ways, but only regulated adults can help regulate a dysregulated child. That's exactly what's needed. Strategies and tools to support staff so we can be caring adults, and resilience building, it buffers students' needs.
Awesome. Of course. And, the only way that we're going to be able to take care of children who've been significantly impacted by trauma is to take care of the adults who are taking care of the children, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And sometimes that is pretty heavy and it feels pretty overwhelming, but that's where we can really share some good news here, that you're not alone, and we do have the support and resources available. Thank you, Madeline. We are
I love that. Yay, Madeline.
Yeah. So I just can't say enough how important it is for the mental health teams in the schools to be supported themselves so that they can support the children. That's what Kirsten was talking about, was those buffer relationships. And we have to support our mental health teams in the schools. They need to really belong and have the support of others. And so there's so many ways we can do that. And there's so many opportunities for education so that we can strengthen them. We've talked about the conference. We're probably going to talk a little bit more about it, but there is no better education out there for trauma-informed educators and anyone who works in the education system than our conference. There is no better resource out there than our conference. Not only live, but virtually, and then to be able to carry that knowledge and information and support throughout the whole year. And that's also, why we've mentioned that we created Team R&R, so that we can continue that support through the whole year. We also have our Trauma Sensitive Schools think tank, which is support and resources that we offer.
It's a Facebook group that everybody can join, and it's really focused for educators and for counselors and social workers who want to engage in that forum, in the Facebook forum, can definitely do that with us. I just threw Lorraine for a loop because
well, it has to happen at some point tonight.
Oh yeah. So she's like, she's got this dazed look on her face, like she's going, oh my goodness, that they want me to do what? Because when I created the slides for this, I conveniently left out the one on the conference with the conference dates. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's not here. And she's a whiz. And so I just bet you that she's going to end up with that for us.
Yeah, we've got some time for that. And I'm sure I've got it somewhere too that we can pull up if we need to. We do have really exciting news about the conference, that our registration is open and that we have amazing keynote speakers and session speakers. I could really talk about the conference all night, but I also want to kind of go back and talk about our counselors in the school and that mental health support team, because oftentimes we talk about self-care, and I do wholeheartedly believe in self-care, but I want to also shed a light on community care, where we care for each other and support each other, because self-care can sometimes be lonely and it can sometimes not fully do the job. So what I'm talking about is the ability to have support year round. And that support comes through education. It comes through a lot of different things. One of the most important things that we've been teaching the last few years is how to complete the stress cycle, because our jobs, especially, the mental health jobs, are so emotionally taxing and physically taxing. We're seeing a high rate of burnout in the school system. And so what we learn is that the stress isn't the problem. There's always
hang on, we gotta say hey to Pam. She just donated. Way to go.
We love Pam, and she provides such great support to ATN and to schools through her SEL work. So
she's somebody in our network that you all should know. She's on the bus, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Respectful Ways, Pam, for doing the work and being of same mission, heart, and mind as us. So we have amazing collaboration.
Hope to see you at the conference.
Mm-hmm. Always. So that stress will always be there, but we can navigate the stress and modulate the stress. And we can do that for children as well. And we teach a lot about that. And we want our educators and our counselors to be able to manage that stress, because the stress will always be there. So thank you for all you do. Awesome. Oh, Pam got to talk to Bill, who's on our board. Way to go, Bill, and way to go,
Bill. Whoop, whoop. Love it.
Wonderful.
They're having so much fun over there. Well, we're having a lot of fun over here too. So let's do, and we have a list of things we're going to talk about, y'all. We're just not winging this 90 minutes. And we might look like we are, but we're not. Let's hop to the last video that we have, because there's a fourth adult in any relationship that a child has at school, and is one of the most important adults, if not the most important adult in that child's world, of course, and that's the parent. And so, let's do that. Let's show that parent video, because
crayons, ruler, facial tissue, her backpack is ready to go, but I'm not ready. My daughter is starting kindergarten, and it is a big step. How will I know if her teacher understands that her behaviors are communicating what she needs, her sensory needs, her emotional needs from her early adversities? I have learned so much from ATN's podcast, Regulated and Relational. I sent a link to her teacher, but still. You're right. Gifting the teacher a Calm Kit is a great way to get some resilience building regulation tools into her hands.
Okay, Calm Kits. Woo! Not every parent is going to be thinking like, what can I buy the teacher to help them be more trauma informed? We wish they would. In fact, we often see the educators on their trauma informed journeys, ask us, what can we give parents to help them understand this as well? And we're all about all of those things. We've got programs under development to help with family engagement at this point. There's so many exciting things we're doing. But I wanted to talk about Calm Kits, because this is where you all who are watching us can do something really special tonight. So you want to see a Calm Kit? Here it is. If you order an ATN Calm Kit, if you buy one, and you can buy them on our store, it comes looking like, oh, look at her, like that. And she's got a help me sticker on hers. I do not. It looks like that. There we go. Okay. So let's open it up real quick. I'm going to show you what's inside here. And I decided not to reposition my camera, because why? Right. So this got this cool sticker. And the coolest thing about this sticker, besides it being a nice introductory cute sticker, is this QR code. And the cool thing about this QR code is that it goes to a set of videos that tells you what it means to help a child with regulation and how to use all of the fantastic stuff that's inside this kit. All right, so here's where I'm going to tell you right now. If you are listening to us and you make a donation of $50 or more, because these Calm Kits sell for $48.99 in our store, and they sell that at that price because it really does cost us that much to gather all this stuff up and put it together. If you make a $50 donation and you put Calm Kit in the memo line online on our website, we will send you a Calm Kit. We will only do that for the people that do that tonight, because we can't afford to just keep giving away Calm Kits for donations. But we want you to have this because we want you to gift it to the teacher of your choice. So if you're a teacher, great. If you're not, but you know somebody who needs this, now is a great time. Schools can contact us. We do have large volume discount. Anyway, all the good stuff that's in here. A tactile sponge. Woohoo! So cool. This cool little gizmo here. That's a water timer. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And it's got colored water that drips. You can use it to actually time something for the child, but it's also just very mindful and breathing. Ginger's gonna show us something super cool here. That is a push-up poster. You can put that on your wall, have little hands come and push, and that major
large motor movement.
Thank you.
You knew. I knew you knew.
I know, but you've got the magic words around that because
Well, we learned that is the quickest, most efficient way to shift a child out of dysregulation is large motor movement. And it's not meant to be a punishment. It's meant to do it together in co-regulation and it's just a prompt. You can do so many things, but it is a great prompt to use. And in the QR code in our Calm Kit, it gives more information about that.
It does. And it tells you that information comes from Diane Carreri and Wynn Kinder from the reset process.
Yes.
Other partners we have on the school bus. So the school bus is a good analogy for tonight. Chair bands. I know some of you, if you're in classrooms, might know how to use that in a way where somebody stretches on the band that way, but that's not exactly the best way to use it to help folks get re-regulated. And the video will tell you that, as well as this really cool stretch band, similar concept, major muscle. We've got pinwheels for breathing. There's lots of things you can use, but pinwheels are really easy with kids because they can't not exhale if they're going to blow the pinwheel, right?
It helps with the visualization and the movement and gets into a deeper exhale to release those stress hormones.
So there are calm strips in here. If you're familiar with calm strips, you know they're textured, and oh man, I just dropped that. And they're you can stick them on things and movable, and they're fun. And I think there's about 7 or 8 of them in this.
Different textures, so many resources and tools, guys, in these Calm Kits. So,
and my personal favorite, connected messages. These are very positive little Post-its that you can use for, look, you did it. That's one of them. I'm on your side. You inspire me. I believe in you. You ask great questions. I noticed what you did today. All of those kinds of things that you can leave for students. They aren't overly praisey on purpose, because sometimes for kids who struggle with their trauma and their early adversities, they have a hard time believing you if you get too overly praisey. And you may have witnessed this yourself if you are parenting or teaching children that this applies to, and it might actually make their behaviors worse. So we don't want to overdo that, but we do want to get some positive deposits into their hearts, right? And that the connected notes is a fun way to do that.
It's a great way to focus more on intrinsic motivation than extrinsic, shallow praise that doesn't help.
Bill says he just used one today. I was going to say they're great for spouses and and your own kids and siblings and like whoever. Put them in your lunch boxes.
On their mirror. So many opportunities to share some positive feedback without sharing false praise.
Exactly. Perfect. Well, and the offer still stands, y'all. You can donate $50 or more. Believe me, we'll take more if that's what you want. We're not shy. And put Calm Kit in the memo. And I will tell you, because this happens, it's a personal thing for me here. The Beam family makes these kits, like we compile them. We will make you one this weekend and we will stick it in the mail. You got my promise on that. So if you want one, this is a great way to get one. We got guests in the studio. We have Michelle Large in the studio. We want Michelle to talk to you because of her background and because she's been to the conference and she's a longtime volunteer. And besides, we just love Michelle.
Michelle!
Hey, everyone!
She is a dear friend of mine and a dear friend of ATN. She has been such a solid volunteer for us. Michelle, will you introduce yourself and tell us how you got involved in ATN and why you stuck around? Like, what benefit is there to sticking around with us?
Well, I can't go into huge detail because I would probably start crying. However, just because I'm so passionate about it. However, I got started. Ginger and I are dear friends. She helped my husband and I adopt two precious girls from China, and has just been a great support system along the way. And then along with adoption, I have a mental health background that works with marriage and family and therapy in that way. But along with adoption became learning about trauma. And so Ginger invited me one year, several years ago, to come to the ATN conference. And that's really where, outside of education with adoption, that I have found my passion in really getting into the schools, educating my children's teachers, using the tools I learned at the conference. Because as a volunteer, I learn as well. So
Yeah.
It's been a great resource for me personally in our home life, but also educationally with my children.
Yeah, I love that. You have really benefited on so many different levels. You have these girls in your home and siblings and parents that need support,
Yes.
that need resources. And then you're also able to use this knowledge in your professional life. I mean, and you've just been instrumental in helping us out. But this conference, would you say that this conference is worthwhile for anybody to go to?
Oh, absolutely. I think whether you are a parent of a child that has trauma, which we all know that everyone has some sort of trauma in their background. I'm actually away from home this week, and it causes crazy thoughts with my 8-year-old.
Yep.
And on top of that, I left the day before a hurricane was to hit. And so even while I'm away, thank goodness for technology, the tools that I learn at the conference every year has been tremendous. Even just sending text messages back and forth and using the videos to talk to our kids and let them express their feelings. I feel like even from a parent standpoint, the things that you can use at conference, you learn from conference, can help in your children. And teaching, we can all help teach and guide teachers and educators on how to make a safe environment and learning ways to learn that they feel safe and comfortable. A perfect example of that is my 11-year-old daughter has some food issues. She was severely malnourished, and it took us a long time to figure out, oh, she's hungry, but she's not telling us she's hungry. And then we have behaviors of shutting down and not learning when she's hungry. And it's no fault of ours. It's
Right.
just the nature of the beast. But to be able to communicate something as simple as a snack that can help a child learn and feel safe in that learning environment, which is the classroom. And it's baby steps like that that allow teachers to see a difference in the children and how they learn every day.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. I know that one of your favorite speakers at our conference is Jessica Sinarski. You just light up when you're there.
Oh my
And
God,
you
I love her. Yes.
Well, you always come out of these conference things and you say, oh my gosh, I learned so much.
Yes.
And I just love hearing the application of it as well.
Oh, you guys, I got to break in and say hi to Mary Lou. I know she's probably not watching in Delaware, but oh man, thank you, Mary Lou, for your donation. I miss
Yay.
talking to you. I'm so glad to see your name pop up here. Yay.
Well, and that's what these donations do, is they help us put on this conference every year,
Yes.
help us support parents like you, Michelle. And I know how much you want to keep coming back to this conference so you can help your girls and the teachers that are teaching your girls.
Yes.
So these donations are so impactful for that reason.
I think it's important to, I'm sorry, Ginger, to let parents know, whether you're fostering or adopting or even teachers, is that it doesn't have to be hard. it can be as simple as reading one of Jessica's books, children's books, Riley the Brave, or
Yep.
about going to school the first day and changes. It can be as simple as if a child's being made fun of at school, to find a resource that you can educate not only the teacher, but educate the students as well. So I think we just have to reframe our brain and our thinking. And every year I come away with something new. I love Jessica. The year we made comm kits, I actually still have my comm kit at home. I made it and I use it with our girls, and actually have a couple in a suitcase ready to go to Hong Kong when I go before Christmas this year. So I think it is really important that parents and educators know we don't have to make it hard. It's not hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no easier way to get this information than our conference. I love this slide. Go, Julie, go.
Yeah, well, it was mostly Lorraine pulling that out. Yay for us. I just wanted to get this up there, first of all, so that people who are watching us can have the dates. You may be getting this through our other social media, and I know that between now and February you'll hear it. But I also wanted Michelle to know, look at all the cool people we have coming to our conference.
I know.
And the other person whose name's not up here but did confirm this week is Dr. Ross Green. He will be our keynote to open the conference in Dallas on Monday. And we'll have, of course, Lori DeSautel's again. And she's full of so much wisdom. She's got a very interesting session for us on Tuesday afternoon, where highly give everybody an opportunity to participate and learn through your participation. So that'll be exciting. And then the virtual side is so rich. For those of you who've never attended the virtual side before, this is the year to do that. Our Thursday keynotes are Dr. Stuart Shanker and Susan Hopkins from Self-Reg. They are in Canada, and they're amazing resources for parents and for schools in helping to understand the regulation process and what we can do to help children learn learn through co-regulation, how to regulate themselves, which is an important step, a crucial step to helping folks get more resilient, right? And then last but definitely not least, we're going to be joined by Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris. If you don't know Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris, then you obviously have not watched the most famous TED Talk in the world, or at least from our standpoint, the most famous TED Talk in the world. And she was previously the first Surgeon General in the state of California. She is a pediatrician and is devoted to trauma-informed practices in medicine, in pediatric and public health. And she's a rock star. So we're excited to talk with her. It's going to be a conversation, and that's going to be exciting to have. So
it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal conference that is not to be missed. And registration is currently open. So we are so excited to offer even more that you don't even see here on the screen, but this gets you excited too.
These are just the keynotes. We're talking about 49 workshops in Dallas and 24 workshops online and all kinds of other added ways of learning, showcases and exhibit halls. And it's such an incredible place. Jessica Sinarski will be there.
Michelle.
I mean, we all will be there. It's great fun. This year we're going to be able to offer college credit instead of just CEUs.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting? Yeah. So we've got to deal with a university, and we'll be getting more information out on that. So that'll be helpful. And early bird is now, and group discounts are now, and purchase orders, we take them from school systems. That's happening now. So
and you'll see on the bottom of your screen, that is the website for you to get more information on the conference and to register and to give that please give that information to your school and to your school system. We have so many opportunities for bulk discounts, and so you can get your whole school there. We would love to have everybody there.
I would love to put a plug in just for the Attachment and Trauma Network in general. The support that you guys offer to families, and not just educators, but to anyone that needs any kind of specific training or support. Ginger, I know you go all over the United States, and I know there's several others that can do training for teachers, but just to even get online, and you have your podcast and things like that. It just is a great source for parents and educators alike. I appreciate it. My husband appreciates it. He's not I'm usually the educator after I listen. However, it has made a huge difference in parenting. And I honestly feel like Attachment and Trauma Network is a great resource for educators and parents and caregivers that deal with kids that come from trauma and hard backgrounds,
hard places. We appreciate that, Michelle. That's why we're here. We want
the heart of the work. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we just can't bear the thought of not being able to continue the work. And that's why the donations are so important.
Thank you, Becky from Missouri. Those of us who have lived a lot of our early lives in Missouri, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle, thank you.
Well, I can't wait. I would love to go ahead and register, but I have new babies coming, so I'm going to be the last minute volunteer. But
okay, well, we will hold a last minute spot for you, but if you're not here, we'll know where you are.
That's right. Well, thank you guys so much for having me, and I continue to thank you guys for all of your great work.
Oh, thank you for helping us out tonight, Michelle. You're
no
awesome.
problem. Anytime.
Take care. Safe travels.
Bye.
It was good to talk to her. And we're getting painfully close, y'all. We have not hit the 5,000 mark, but we are inches away. So if you're in the sound of our voice and you have not donated, your $20, your $50, your $5 is going to help us at this point.
Now is the time. We are here. We're going to be wrapping up soon. So don't let this opportunity pass you up to become a sustaining giver or a one-time giver. We are just appreciative for anything you can give. So text us at that 44321 and continue to give. We appreciate it.
Awesome. So, I thought it was really, it was kismet actually, that Michelle would bring up that we were all about the parents and all about, helping, that she loved the way that we helped parents, because that really is the heart of where ATN started, right? Yeah. The genesis. Good word. That's who ATN has been from the beginning. We started as a grassroots organization to help parents whose children had been significantly traumatized. Parents exactly like Michelle was describing herself, with new children in their house that had come from some very hard places. And a lot of us, myself included, have walked that walk, right? And so that makes us passionate about that work. And we still do as much supporting of families as we possibly can. We would love to be able to do more. What we know about families is that often what happens with trauma is that it overwhelms the family, and it makes it really hard to even ask for help or even identify themselves as somebody who needs help. I'm super excited that schools and other organizations, local organizations for in many areas, are picking up that mantle too, and trying to give trauma-informed information and care out there. but I do want to talk about the specialized support that we give, because I do think it's unique and important that we do. Is Stephanie with us?
I think so. There she is.
Yay. Hey, Stephanie.
Good evening.
The reason we brought you in here and kept you up late and all that good stuff is because I know no better person. Well, Ginger's pretty good, but she has an LCSW behind her name, so she's credentialed and she can, officially do it. I know no better supportive person than Stephanie Gard, and she's been with ATN for a while, so she gets the passion. And y'all are lucky, because if you come to our conference, you never see Stephanie Gard. We keep her chained to a desk in the back.
Well, she's that green wizard behind the curtain, or the wizard behind the green curtain.
I know. I feel like if we get a certain donation or something like that, that I will appear.
That's it.
During the housekeeping portion of the conference.
There we go. Something. Well, you're appearing tonight.
I know.
So we must be getting close to $5,000.
So yeah, and I'm looking both ways, because I've got a screen here and a screen here, and I'm trying to move everything from this screen to this screen, because there are some donations coming in, and I just want to make sure that we have them added up.
Wizard behind the curtain.
Stephanie is our operations director, and she's making everything happen. Lorraine is making this live broadcast happen. She's
absolutely
slides at the last minute.
It's a team.
We have an incredible team. You see Julie and I a lot, but guys, we are nothing without this hardworking skeleton staff, that just pours their heart and soul into this work every day for not a lot of pay, but for a lot of blessings.
And there's a big reason we all do it. And there's a big reason why there's, a whole bunch of us doing this work. So what we've been through, what we've learned, how the therapy that we've received, not only to help our kids, but to help ourselves.
Hey,
Kate is the best. I saw that. Thanks, Kate. And Carol Hogue is also donating.
Carol.
I'm beating Lorraine to it. I'm sorry, but this is the information I have right here.
I can't type the words in fast enough.
We cannot possibly do it that quickly. But
that's what a live stream is all about. Give us the tea as it happens.
You should have had me on sooner. I mean, we could have had so. We've got another one coming in.
Hi, Jasmine.
Jasmine's in Dallas.
We will be in Dallas in February. Jasmine, I hope that you're getting ready to see us in Dallas in February. We want to see you there.
Okay. What you got for us, Lorraine? Something good? She's giving me the 1 minute signal.
Yeah. Because I'm adding stuff too. She's adding them all up. But yes, let's talk.
Talk to it. Okay. So
me.
Switch off your operations. Talk about what's special about the way ATN supports caregivers and parents.
Anyone who's raising a child with, the trauma and the issues that our children come from, and what they're showing us, it's incredibly isolating. We have a really difficult time getting the right help. And when we do get the right help, we're not always supported by everyone around us.
Right.
So there's a lot of that going on. For a good perspective, my son is 29 years old, and I am so proud of him that he's come this far. And I couldn't have done it without ATN, especially through the teenage years. And there's this new... all three of us in this box right now can nod our heads about having an over 20-year-old but under 30-year-old. Mm-hmm. And it's a whole different world. In some ways slightly easier, in other ways more difficult. You have to let go. We can't have that grasp on them that we had when we had a child under 18. So just having other parents talk about their lives. First of all, our kids can have some quirky behaviors. Let me put it that way. And to be able to go into a group chat or talk to these two wonderful women that, you know, I talk to every day, and to be able to drop something about a behavior that I'm dealing with and have them go, again, it's not a competition. We have no competitions. It's just about, okay, so I have something similar in what we're doing, and here's kind of what may have worked for us. Here's what hasn't worked for us. All those different things can happen.
Sorry,
Thank
I'm not.
Thank you,
I'm not
Timothy.
for you, but Timothy,
I
woohoo!
know, I'm like, keep clapping. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, we've got, let me just,
Yeah,
Wow.
there's great support here. And that's one of the things we want to leave everybody with tonight is
Yes.
this is a place of support and it's a place of community. It's a place of safety. And
we are definitely concentrating a lot on the education side of it, because we see that extension of what we're doing at home getting so much more support by having, you know, the schools getting the help and the resources that they need to.
Right.
We still have support for parents. We actually have a Facebook group. It's private, it's moderated. I mean, of all the support groups for parents going through this, ours is the best. So it's still out there. I know a lot of people have kind of found their own support groups, and that's key. That's part of the self-care. Surround yourself with people who support you, you know, keep some boundaries up with people who are in your lives no matter what, but, you know, may not support you as much, but use those tools. And we still have that for parents, and we still have the ability to talk to parents and offer advice from, you know, decades of experience.
Exactly. And lots of materials too that are at the ready, as well as our resource directory that's full of trauma-informed, attachment-focused
Yes.
therapists and other resources. And if you are a therapist listening in and you aren't in our directory and you do this work, please reach out to us. Please hold up your hand and say, I'm interested in doing that. And I know lots of therapists are busy and their caseloads are full, but we want to make sure that the families who need you find you.
Yeah.
And we have free listings. So take a look. Kirsten would be glad to help you.
I mean, that's what is really so amazing is all these resources and supports that we are offering for free. Our podcast is new content every 2 weeks, and it is free and totally shareable. And I get that feedback that it really helps to be able to share something concrete that is free to a teacher, to another parent, and to anyone in need. So we want to keep those up.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the two people who make the world go round, Stephanie and Lorraine, if they are able to announce a number, or do I need to go ahead and pull in the conversation I had with Neil?
Wait. Look what Lorraine just posted.
Lorraine just posted.
We did it. We did it. All right. Time for the graphic. Right on us.
We've been waiting for it. Come on.
Now we need some celebration.
These graphics, so impressive.
Yeah, it is. It's impressive. We did it, you all. You did it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Michelle. Sending us love. Yay. Well,
Michelle,
you know, we'll take 5,001. I mean, come on. So if you were about to hit enter, don't stop now. We don't want you to stop. Please. Don't stop. Thank you for joining us, Stephanie and Ginger. Holy cow. Thanks for doing 90 minutes with me. You know, I knew we could do this.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, I think I'm thirsty, and you probably go eat dinner. Like, I don't know.
Take off. I'll just talk for a while.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, first, we're going to hit the play button on this conversation I had with Neil Van Rossum, because if you all may not know Neil, but Stephanie and Ginger know Neil. You know it's going to be a good conversation.
I love you, Neil.
and thank you, Neil, for everything that you do for ATN. So let's hear what Neil's got to say. Hi, everybody. Want to introduce you to Neil Van Rossum, a former board member and longtime supporter of the Attachment and Trauma Network. Neil, it's so good to see you today.
Yeah, good being here. Good seeing you too.
I just asked Neil, and he's always so generous to do a lot of things that we ask him to do. I just asked him, would you come talk to the folks about why it's important to be part of ATN and why you have chosen to be a part of ATN?
Oh, sure. With your permission, I'm going to give you a little bit of my history, which I think will help explain some of that and why it's important. As Julie said, I've been a board member in the past, but I'm also a therapist, and I've been doing that for 4.5 decades. So it's been a while. One of the things that originally got my attention with regards to ATN, and I don't know if Julie, you remember this or not, but back when I first got in contact, there was no educational focus. The main focus was on parenting. And I worked in those back then. God, that's got to be what, 8-10 years ago now. I worked back then primarily with kids, teenagers, and families. And I was very impressed with some of the training that was being done for the parents, which was done basically over the internet through, I don't remember if it was Zoom or not, but it was basically being done over the internet. And I purchased one of those packages. And I listened to parts of it. And I used parts of it. And I found it to be really, really helpful for some of the folks that I worked with. Then I got a phone call out of the blue from somebody. I'm trying to remember who that was. I keep thinking her name was Julie. Sure.
Was it me, or did you talk to Melissa first? I don't remember.
I don't either, to tell you the truth, but I thought it was you.
Okay, could have been.
Because whoever called and I talked to had a conversation with me about 2 or 3 months earlier. And we talked a lot about what I did and what I was focusing on, because when I purchased that program, I also purchased a professional membership.
Right. Okay.
So there was a contact made. And of course, I have, as you already can kind of tell, a bit of a sense of humor. Some people would call my humor strange, but nonetheless, it's a bit of a sense of humor. And we talked, I think it was supposed to be about a 5 or 10 minute phone call that ended up being about an hour, about a half an hour to 45 minutes. And a couple months later, I got another phone call saying, would you be interested in being a board member? And I'm like, well, what does that entail? I have neuropathy. I can't get around very well, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do for this board. And it was all explained to me, and I found that to be really intriguing, because I saw ATN as a leader at that point in time. Now, granted, I hadn't done a lot of searching online, but I still haven't found anything that's as advanced in many ways. The focus of ATN has always been about families, and education became an add-on focus to that, which has now become a powerful part of ATN. But that's also considered part of family from my point of view. I think schools are extended family. Good, bad, or indifferent, no matter how you look at school districts, school systems, whatever, it's extremely important. So I saw ATN as a way to learn some more, as a way to tie some of the parents I worked with into an organization that had information on its website, even though it was, God, talk about rudimentary back then, but it was still there. So it was available. The only other organization that I found to be close to that was Dan Siegel's organization out of California, and the work he was doing, which I thought they all dovetailed together. So that was why I got into it. I still think to this day that ATN has made more connections and more contacts probably than most organizations that focus in this area. I could very well be wrong. I never have a hassle telling people I'm wrong. But one of the things that I find really helpful is that ATN is always willing to listen to the people it works with and to try and do whatever they can, if not directly, by referring or indirectly getting people connected to services.
Right.
And just different ideas and programs that are out there. So that was my big move in terms of ATN. I always found the board meetings to be, they were really a lot of fun, but they were also a lot of work.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We work our board members hard, and they're getting worked hard tonight for sure.
Yeah. And of course, I was one of those that with the neuropathy, I couldn't do some of the things that other board members could. But I always felt like if I could do anything to kind of give people support, to give them thoughts to work with, I guess not much different than what I do for therapy. But you know what the heck? I think that's part of the process. Is when you're in a board meeting, you're also kind of letting go of some of the stuff that you've dealt with during the week or 2 or 3 or 4 before that anyway.
Right. Well, you're bringing the gifts and skills and talents that you have, and we use them. And that's what I saw about you, Neil, every time. You and your humor and your insights. Yeah, always.
And that's what I thought was to me was helpful as a board member. But my involvement with ATN is based solely on what it has managed to accomplish in working with parents and in working with schools. I could see it expanding even more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get ahead of everything because there's so many areas that could get broken into.
Right.
But it's going to be approached in I think in a good, healthy way by the board, because from what I'm understanding, the new board's got a lot of powerful folks on board that are really excited about being there, and that's key to keeping an organization running. So.
No, we are excited for the future, and there are a lot of parents and a lot of schools out there, and so that's going to, staying focused on helping children through their families and their schools is a huge responsibility for us.
Yeah, and it's important. It's important information.
Yes. Well, thank you, Neil, for all of your service. Thank you for being a donor too. To trust us with your money says a lot. Everybody who donates, there's a trust that comes forth there because they're trusting us to do the right thing with that money to help the children.
Well, and thank you for that, but also thank you for allowing me in, because it was a very positive experience and one I really enjoyed.
Awesome. It's great talking to you.
Good talking to you.
Well, and it was good talking to you, Neil. So glad you made time for us today. And we miss seeing your face every month on the board meetings, and appreciate everything you've done. Hey, you all, it's been great. This evening has been great. We hope you've learned something. We hope that you've got some ideas about what ATN does, and what you can do to get involved. If donating is not the way you can get involved right now, we always need volunteers, and we need you to be a part of our programs, and we need you to spread the word about our programs. Please check out our website. Please get involved. Please come see us at the conference in Dallas. Participate in our book clubs, our movie nights. Watch for all of that. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thanks to the incredible board and staff who pulled off this and all the fundraising at Mission Control. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.